Hey everybody, good afternoon, welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United transfer news, or should I say it's the Frenkie de Jong transfer news. It's the big update we were expecting, maybe not in the way we expected, but Frenkie de Jong has spoken today. He's on Dutch, he's not on French duty, he's on Dutch duty, and he has spoken openly about his future, what he wants to happen, what he thinks about a move away from Barcelona. As well as that, we've also got a big update coming in from what is classed as a tier 1 source around Barcelona and what is likely to happen with Frenkie de Jong as well. So lots to get into. We'll also have updates on Nunez and a couple of exits away from Manchester United, but lots to get into. But as you can see, I'm sporting my Boohoo Man jacket because we're sponsored by Boohoo Man on the show. So before we get into this amazing breaking news, we are sponsored by Boohoo Man Active on the show, and they've got a little bit of a question for you. But remember, Boohoo Man Active is all about looking good and feeling great, and as the weather gets nicer, then there's no better time to get yourself some brand new active wear. Because Boohoo Man is sponsoring the show, it means it's time for some Manchester United trivia with a bit of a Dutch theme. This time we're changing it up and seeing if you guys can guess which United player Boohoo Man Active are describing from the below clues. So here we go. I started my career playing for a club in Holland. I joined Manchester United in 2000 for 18.5 million and went on to play 150 games for the club, scoring 95 goals. I've won 1 Premier League and 1 FA Cup, and I ended my career at Malaga having played 449 career games and scoring 249 career goals. Who am I? Now, I know who that is straight away. And we're going to be talking about a potential future Manchester United Dutch legend in a moment. Somebody actually said Jaap Stam, which is funny, but Van Nistelrooy is the one. Of course it's Van Nistelrooy. Of course it's Ruud Van Nistelrooy. So there we go. It's Ruud Van Nistelrooy. I would have got that straight away. 2000, 18.5 million. Of course it is. And another quick question for you is, have Boohoo Man given United Stand a discount for this video? And of course they have. So by scanning the QR code with your camera phone or clicking the link in the description and using the code Goldbridge, you get 40% off at Boohoo Man, excluding certain sale items. Thank you very much to Boohoo Man for sponsoring the show. Remember, 40% off through the link in the chat. Get involved. You could get one of these beauties. There's loads of other stuff. 40% off. Use the code by holding up your camera phone to it or going through the link in the description. So from one Dutch Manchester United legend to a potential other, we have got the direct quotes coming in from Frenkie de Jong, and I probably somebody said you sound a bit upbeat considering he snubbed us. He has effectively snubbed us. Let's just get some of the quotes up on the screen for you. So this is direct quotes from Frenkie de Jong. But I don't know how to shape this show. Right, I don't know how to shape this show. Okay, we'll do it this way. I'll stick with it. Frenkie de Jong said, "I don't want to talk about rumours anymore. I feel good at Barcelona, but maybe there is contact. There is no agreement and nothing official." So that's door slightly open. What's a door? Door slightly open. That's not a door, that's just two hands together. The door, he opens the door set there. He says maybe there's contact, but there's no agreement and nothing official. He then goes on to say, "I prefer to stay at Barcelona. I said this before, Barcelona is the club of my dreams ever since I was little, and if other clubs call, then you will take the call, but you always do that." He then goes on to say, "Of course I heard about the links to Manchester United, but the people in charge of the club, Barcelona, didn't tell me anything. So then I will assume that there is no agreement and then nothing is going on, so then I won't worry about it." He says, "I have been in contact with Ten Hag. I won't tell you this. If I have been in contact with Ten Hag, I won't tell you this. I wouldn't tell you this if it was about another manager at another club too." He says, "I did talk with Xavi about next season, but that was just about football, about the squad and what is needed to improve." And he was also asked about Frenkie de Jong on his sale to help Barcelona's financial situation. "I understand that, but the club didn't tell me anything. They didn't propose anything to me, so I'm assuming that nothing is going on." And asked if he went to Manchester United because Ten Hag wants him, will he 100% play? "Well, I don't know, but I'm not moving. I am not moving to a club with the thought of I won't play here in my mind." So look, you know, look, I'm going to leave that one there. I'm going to leave that one on the screen because that's the one that made me feel a little bit sad today. Frenkie de Jong has basically done an interview today on Dutch duty and said he wants to stay at Barcelona. He's not been told anything different from Barcelona. and he understands the financial situation, but he's not been told about any agreement with any other club. I feel sorry for Frankie de Jong. As much as I want him to join Manchester United, I feel sorry for Frankie de Jong. What hurt me, and I'm not, when I say hurt, I'm not crying in the garden or anything like that. I just think, empathy, human empathy, is that he's at the club he's wanted to play at since he was a kid. Marit says, my girlfriend's excited about the Boohoo Man discount. Grace, go and enjoy yourself, Grace. So that's a bit of a cheap thing, though, isn't it? Oh, I found a 40% discount. Go and treat yourself. But at least she's getting something. But in relation to Frankie, I don't know what people think about this now, because I can see people in the chat straight away. Ace says, do you actually believe that interview? He definitely knows the situation. I think it's worse if he knows the situation. I mean, this is, you know what? We spend so much time talking about sources and what journalists are saying. This is from the player. This is from Frankie de Jong himself. Direct quotes about Manchester United interest and Barcelona selling him. So maybe he does know a little bit more. But the fact, if he does know a little bit more, and he's saying what he's just said there, which has now disappeared off my screen, which seems to happen a lot these days. If he does know that, then he is effectively saying that he wants to stay at Barcelona because it's his dream club. I do feel sorry for him in that sense, because he doesn't want to leave. He wants to stay at Barcelona. It is his dream club. Imagine you played for Manchester United. Most of you Manchester United fans, right? Imagine you're playing for Manchester United in the midfield. The club is rebuilding. You're in the Champions League next year. You want to fight for big things, and you get Ten Hag taking you to the office and saying, I don't want to sell you, but the club's in financial difficulty and you are being sold. Put yourself, that's what I mean. Put yourself in that situation. You're at your dream club. You're playing for Manchester United, the theatre dreams. This is where you want to be. And then the owners say, we're selling you because we need to raise money to bring other people in. How heartbreaking would that be? I want to stay. I want to be part of this. I love this club. Yeah, but we know you're worth more money than anyone else, and we need to bring other people here. So I think it's really quite sad in that sense. And, there's an interesting point there from Marcus saying, stop trying to kidnap players that don't want to come. Well, and hence the debate opens up there, because the next update I'm going to bring you is actually, and we're putting our hands in the Barcelona camp here. This was via @ManagingBarca on Twitter, who ranked, there are some brilliant aggregator accounts out there, especially around Spanish football. There's a few Real Madrid ones and there's a few Barcelona ones, and big clubs, big fan bases, and they gather information and they rank the information. And apparently this is from Fans Xavi Miguel, who is a tier 1 source. At the moment, all roads lead to the departure of Frankie de Jong. Barcelona want 90 million. So effectively, Frankie de Jong is up for sale. And we knew this was probably going to be the outcome of today's meeting at Barcelona HQ. There's another story as well that they've got to find £500 million by the end of June. He's effectively up for sale, and that's where we are. It's sad, but it's not really a snub, is it, says Dwayne? Well, I think it is. I think it is. I think it is a snub. And you know why I think it's a snub? Because he said he wants to stay at Barcelona. I suppose the definition of snub is rebuff, ignore, or spurn disdainfully. I accept that, it's not like F off, I don't want to come to you, but ultimately he has publicly said he wants to stay at Barcelona. Ramis, welcome to the Members Club, and Daniel Kirk says, Mark, 80 million euros is 68 million pounds. How much would you be looking to bring that down for a good deal for de Jong, says Daniel. Well, that price on the screen, Daniel, is 90 million. I don't really see it as a snub. We all know he was wanted to stay at Barcelona. This transfer will all depend on Barca wanting to sell him, says Stephen. Well, we're getting into the finite detail of what a snub is here. I mean, to be honest with you, if I'm in a club and I say to a girl, do you fancy coming out for a meal with me tomorrow night? And she says, I really like the look of you. I think you look really nice, but I prefer I prefer my partner I'm with. That's a snub. It might be a polite snub, but it's still a snub. And I tell you what, if I did that in a nightclub, I'd be getting into big trouble with Mrs. Goldbridge anyway. So it's a hypothetical anyway. But what I'm trying to do is show you an example that I call it a snub when somebody says no, they don't want to do it with you. And when I say doing it, I don't mean having it off. I mean, like, they don't want to join you. He doesn't want to join us. He wants to stay at Barcelona. If Barcelona say, we don't want you, change of the situation. And I think De Jong leaves that door open there by saying, look, I've not been told that. I'm not going to take any notice of that until I'm told that. So I think the situation with Frankie De Jong hasn't much changed. Tom Howes, welcome to Members Club. I don't think the situation with Frankie De Jong has changed. Can you remind me as well? I've got a big announcement for you as well. I don't think the situation with Frankie De Jong has changed. It's just been solidified in the sense that he again... Well, I don't think he said it publicly before. He has said it publicly now that he wants to stay at Barcelona. But he's also said, if they sell me, then I'll have to have a look at what the situation is. So I suppose you delve into the debate again. Do you want Frankie De Jong at this club? And hence, we'll do a poll. Do you want De Jong still? Do you want a player that doesn't really want to come? We're on the event horizon of either being sucked into a black hole forever or turning this shit around. Who's optimistic, says Murphy. Beckham didn't want to leave United, still succeeded, says Sean Kelly. Exactly. Roy Keane was going to Blackburn Rovers. We spoke to him over the weekend. He came to Manchester United and became, one of our greatest, the greatest Premier League captain in history. So... I still want De Jong. And can I just say as well, can I just shock you? Ashley Herbert, welcome to the Members Club. Thanks everyone who joins the Members Club, by the way. Appreciate it. You can vote for our latest video. Got our latest exclusive video for the members coming out probably on Thursday, to be fair. Maybe Friday. But you can vote for it on the community tab. It's a good choice this week as well. You choose it. Imagine if he's forced to join and performs badly, says Sir Nigel Farage. And it was mentioned that they haven't even registered Araujo in La Liga because they can't. La Liga's president publicly said they need to sell players. This is Mario. And Danny Doritos, welcome to the United Stand Members Club. And hi, Mark, do you think Barca and United could agree on a buyback clause for De Jong, says Farhan? We wouldn't do that. We don't do buyback clauses or release clauses. We don't. That's why we didn't get Haaland. But I'm going to shock you and say I still want De Jong. I feel sorry for him. I think it's sad that I'm not just randomly. I'm not Mick Jagger. I thought I saw a fly go past me. In fact, I think I did. The reality, I'm like Mr. Miyagi with his chopsticks. But I'm going to shock you and say, Karate Kid, what a great film. Love it. I'm going to shock you and say that despite the fact that I feel sorry for Frankie De Jong because I'm an empathetic person, I am an empathetic person. I'm also massively humble. You can't say you're humble. You can't say it. I did that on purpose. We need to get Neves before he joins Arsenal or Barcelona, says Nigel Farage. And so he's a similar price to Harry, says Graham Barber. Can you wish my son happy birthday? He's a Pratt who supports Liverpool but watches a lot of your content, says Jamil. And that's Basha. Happy birthday, mate. And why are we not looking at Renato Sanchez? Spoke about him this morning, Emperor. Did speak about him this morning. Totally agree with you. I feel really sorry for Frankie De Jong because he's living the dream at Barcelona and they're trying to sell him. And I do feel sorry for him on that level, but I would still buy him and I still think I'm 75% sure we're going to get him. And people are going to go, oh my God, Mark, how can you say everything that you've said? How can you read all those quotes out and still say you're 75% sure we're going to get him? He doesn't want to come. Forget about it. Move on. We're Manchester United. Get Neves. At least he might want to come. But how do you know, Mark? How do you know that Ruben Neves wants to come to the Manchester United? Maybe he wants to go to Barcelona. Maybe that's his dream move. And he comes to us because Barcelona don't want him. If Barca accept a bid from us, he will come, says Mark Coughlin. And that's exactly where I'm going with this. I still remain 75% sure that we're going to get him because although he wants to stay at Barcelona, we knew he wanted to stay at Barcelona 2 weeks ago. So him publicly saying it doesn't change anything. What doesn't change as well is that Manchester United and Erik ten Hag really want him and that Barcelona want to sell him. So nothing has changed from me being 75% sure we're going to sign him 2 weeks ago to today. All we've had is Barcelona need to sell and De Jong wants to stay, but he's also said that's what I've been told is happening. So I still think he's going to come. To which people will say, but why? Why are you buying a player that doesn't want to be here? Because his mood will change massively when Barcelona say, you're up for sale, mate. He will suddenly realise the club of his dreams is the club of his nightmares, because they want rid of him. He's not wanted. And any human being, when they're not wanted, will suddenly have a different feeling about the situation that they're in. And we will be there with arms open wide saying, come to Manchester United, we will adore you. And I think that's what will end up happening. So I think he will come to Manchester United. If Barcelona decide to sell him, he will come to Manchester United and he will play well and he will become a fan favourite, and all this will be forgotten. I don't think it's something to hold against him. I think De Jong is an amazing player and I wanted him at United, but I don't think we should get him anymore. There is a very big chance he comes and flops because his mind isn't at Manchester United, says Mo. I think the relationship with Ten Hag, his mind will be at United. He just needs to work through this process. There has to be other midfielders out there, but we are wasting our time on De Jong, says Kevin Mowry. And De Jong has to say that, but he ain't stupid. He knows Barca might want to sell him, and if that's the case, he will be United bound, says Shane Matthews. Welcome to the members club as well, from Shumik. And also, we've got a few comments coming in here. People are very, very on this today. Mark, it's a good thing big players don't want to come to United. We aren't the same club. It shows an ambition if we have to be convinced, says Ty. I agree with that. It's not that he does not want to come. It's that he does not want to leave, says Sean from Ireland. Fair point. I think that's well made as well. Also, Mark, do you Mrs. laugh when she hears you kick off and make them impressions? I don't know about that. Al Nasser, I don't know about that. Forget De Jong. We can't keep forcing him. We're busy this window. Let's get Sanchez and Neves for the same price, says FIFA Crazy. Also, we've got Kevin saying, Frankie de Jong wants to stay at Barcelona just like I want to be Dua Lipa's chair for a day. Life ain't fair, says Kevin Welsh. And Daniel Kirk says, I saw your video this morning and I still want to buy Richarlison, but I'm not as opposed to it as I once was. Yeah, check the video out this morning. Richarlison is definitely a backup option for United if we don't get Nunez, who I'm going to talk about in a minute. And if you want to... I don't want Richarlison. I don't, but I agree with Daniel. Watch the video from this morning. It's only 10 minutes long. It's called Ten Hag's Nunez backup option, and we talk about options that we could go for. Richarlison gets quite a good couple of minutes in there where we look at his strengths, and it makes you feel a little bit more open to it. So it's worth a watch. Thank you, Daniel. Frankie only confirmed what we all thought we all knew. He doesn't want to leave. It's a very hard deal to get over the line, says Shane. And welcome to the members club, Tom. And look, before we move on from Frankie de Jong, the summary is, but the summary is that he wants to stay at Barcelona, which we knew, and he's publicly said that. But Barcelona also need to sell. And this is the comment I would take the most notice of. This is the one where he opens the door. Is there anything going on with transfers? I don't want to talk about rumours anymore. I feel good at Barcelona, but maybe there is contact. There is nothing. There is no agreement and nothing official. So, I don't think he's definitely say, I'm not going to go. And obviously the next bit I would focus on is that he said, of course I hear about the links to Manchester United, so he name checks us, but the people in charge of the club don't tell me anything. So then I will assume that there is no agreement and that nothing is going on. So therefore I won't worry about it too. So look, I think he's left the door open, but he's obviously a Barcelona player and hopes that he's going to stay a Barcelona player. I think people forget about R9, loyal to nobody, but still wanted to win everything he could. This could be the same with De Jong, says Declan. Yeah, and look, who's to say that a PSG don't swoop in or somebody else? Interestingly, on our poll, we've had over 7,500 votes. And do you want De Jong still? Yes, 64%. No, 36%. I mean, it's certainly coming down, but still the majority would take him. Tristan, welcome to the Members Club. And Rachel says, hi Mark, thanks for all your hard work bringing us the transfers news. It's hugely appreciated. I know you work hard behind the scenes on this, says Rachel. Well, yes, I do just want to say as well, I mean, the people I only ever care about are the nice people in life anyway. If you focus on the haters, you're going to get dragged down. But I do these shows sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. I am a human being. And I was in a bad mood this morning, and it was obvious on the show, which I watched back bits as well. I make no apology for that. I'm a human being, and I do so many shows that you are going to catch me in different moods sometimes. I've cried on this show, rest in peace, Kipster. That took me away I couldn't control that. And sometimes things will happen. Sometimes I'll be in a bad mood, a good mood. Sometimes I'll be bubbly. Sometimes I'll be a bit quiet. So, I am what I am. I'm not perfect. My farts smell. And I appreciate the support because I think the people who get this channel understand that it's real. That's what it is. It's not perfection. It's human. And that's what we are as a community. So thank you for that, Rachel. Mark, I went to Old Trafford for the Norwich game all the way from South Africa. I was actually scared we might lose against a relegation side, but Ronaldo went on to score a hat-trick and saved us. Back Eric, Glazers out, says Danny Doritos. Shoo! That reminds me as well, just before we talk about, I want to talk to you about Darwin Nunez, but I just have an announcement for you as well that I want to give you. Tonight, we have got an 8 o'clock show tonight. Make sure you tune in and support. I think it's either Adam or Beth are on the show at 8 o'clock tonight. So, really important through the summer. I can't do every show, and we've got a great team behind me, and we've got people like Adam and Beth who do great, fantastic opinions. So tune in at 8 o'clock. Why am I not on the show tonight? Because tonight, between 7 and 10, I'm on Talk Sport for a special show, Not Fit to Wear the Shirt, Manchester United. We've got Dwight York's going to be on, Simon Peach, journalist, Jonathan Northcroft, who did the big article at the weekend. There's people calling in as well. So 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock tonight, I'm on TalkSport Radio. It's also going to be on YouTube. So if you want to check in at points, I think the first hour is about the problems at United, and then the second hour is about the future and where United go from here. So it's a 3-hour show on TalkSport about Manchester United, not fit to wear the shirt, and where it's gone wrong and where it can go right. So if you want to tune into that, it will be live on YouTube. If you're not in the UK, I mean, you can get TalkSport Radio on the internet now, can't you? You can listen to anything. So you can listen on the radio, or you can tune in on YouTube. But we have got an 8 o'clock show tonight, and I wouldn't miss the 8 o'clock show tonight because I know there's a bit of transfer news that I wish I was delivering to you, which we're just sorting out. So the 8 o'clock show will be good. I've heard a lot of players say they love the club that they are at, and then they leave in the same weeks as Clinton. I think it's a bit different for De Jong, because I think he's obviously playing at his dream club, isn't he? I'm confident on De Jong. United would not put themselves out there like that if they are not confident of securing a deal. 75% club, says Duzan. I agree. We might change Duzan. We might drop from 75%, but at the moment, I agree. There's no reason to drop. I'll take De Jong, but we should complete this deal quickly. If Real Madrid sign Tchouaméni, PSG will go for De Jong, says Jay. Welcome to Members Club, Michael McGarry. What do you make of the reports that keep saying Ten Hag is working under the radar on secret transfers? I don't agree with that, Shamak. I think you make a good point. I'll come back to it. This De Jong transfer reminds me of Vidal and Schneider. At the end, we will not get him since he doesn't want to come. Let's move on, says Abhijit. I don't think it does remind me of those players, Vidal and Schneider, because I don't think we're ever in for them. This could be a Fabregas under Moyes, where I didn't want to believe it, and then I did believe it, and then it didn't happen. Can Cameron participate on the Talk Short Play? If he phones in, Burke, he can. And Mark, I've seen some rumours on Hugo Ekitike. Any news on that? Watch the video this morning, Hub G. It's the 10-minute video where I talked about Ekitike. Apparently we are in talks with him, and that was exclusively into the United stands, so we'll see. Hi, Mark. Do you think De Jong is being respectfully or actually doesn't want to come? I think he's being respectful, Daz. I think he wants to stay at Barcelona, but if Barcelona say he's for sale, which I think they will do, then that is when I think that he will, make his mind up. Just going back to that previous comment about do we think that Manchester United are being more secretive around their transfers? No, I don't. People were talking about this morning saying, oh, what I love about United at the moment is that everything's so secretive. Everything's being kept so secretive. We don't know what they're doing. They're doing quick, efficient business. Well, what quick, efficient business are we doing? De Jong, we've known about for 3 weeks now. Timber, we've known about for 3 weeks now. O'Boyle, as the Deputy Director of Football, was actually in a news article in March. It's not a very glamorous, exciting person or position, so it's just gone quiet. So I don't think Man United, I think they're trying to get rid of the leaks, but I don't think it's quiet. I don't think it's secretive. We know we're after Timber. We know we're after De Jong. And we know we're after Nunez. So they're the three main targets. Torres is the backup to Timber. Neves is the backup to De Jong. There's an interest in Kante if he's available. So I don't think it's secretive. I think it's interesting if we don't get the players that we want. But if we get the players that we want, it's quite a straightforward summer. It's Timber, De Jong and Nunez probably. We might only sign 3. Hopefully 5, but we might only sign 3. Mark, does the wife get on the good old sneak sometimes, says Danny Doritos. I don't think she's ever tried sneak, actually. Why risk another 2 or 3 years, if not 5, on a player who made it clear he doesn't want to leave Barcelona? It's a perfect setup for another mercenary player whose mind is not at United, says Mo. I mean, I don't see it as that. I don't see it as that, Mo, but I know some of you do see it as another Di Maria situation, but I don't see it as that. Seems to be. I don't think I got that fly. Mbappe is the manager at PSG, so if he doesn't want De Jong, they won't get him, says Nathan Allen. No, probably not. Mark, you read the quote wrong. It was asked if there was contact, not him saying it. Well, I'll read it again. Let me have a look at the one that you're on about. Asked if there is anything going on in transfers. I don't want to talk about rumours anymore. I feel good at Barcelona. But maybe there is contact. There is no agreement and official. Right, so maybe he was asked if there's contact and he said there's no agreement and nothing official. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've misquoted that a little bit. I accept that. But I still think he's leaving the door open a little bit, saying that, nothing. He's not been told anything. Look, I remain 75%. If you're not, that's up to you. But I remain 75%. Andy says, I agree with what you said yesterday, Mark. We can't expect big players to automatically want to come anymore with the state of our club. And hi, Mark, any truth around Maguire going to Barcelona? Les, I think we all wish that was true, but I don't think there's a chance of that. But yeah, going back to what Andy said there, I mean, we've all got our thoughts and we've all got our opinions, and I do respect that, even if I disagree with it. But for me, I like the De Jong deal. I like the fact that we've got to persuade him. It's not a problem. It's also not a problem if you don't want to persuade players. But if you don't want to persuade players, the quality of player that you're going to get is going to be of a certain standard. De Jong would play for Liverpool, and he would play for Man City, and he would play for PSG, Barcelona. He's a top level player. We've got no right to buy a player like that. We are shit. We are absolutely shit. We've got McFred playing in the midfield. We've got no right to buy a De Jong. So of course I want him. And if I want to buy him, absolutely, because of the level of player he is, I expect him to say, I don't want to come. I want to stay at Barcelona. I don't want to come to Man United. Look at you. I expect that. And I think Ten Hag expects it. Persuading him is saying, we can be Barcelona. We're Manchester United. We can win the Champions League. We can win the Premier League. But to do that, you have to be part of this project from the start. You are going to be the centrepiece in this team. We've got no midfield, Frankie. You are going to be the person that's going to become the club favourite. You could be the captain. You could be the star player. You are the future of that team. Ronaldo's gone in a year. Who's the star in that team? Sancho's good, but he's out on the wing. You're in the centre, right in the spine. You can be the superstar of this team. You've played with Donny before. You know how he works. You've been managed by me before. If you've been to Old Trafford, 75,000 fans. It's a sleeping giant, and you can wake it up with me. I would expect to persuade a player like that. I would imagine we're going to have to persuade Nunez. Timber's different. He's 20. He's at the start of his career. It's a big step up from Ajax to Manchester United. But if you want to get these sort of players, and also what I would say as well is, if we did get Frankie de Jong, people talk about how many years it's going to take for Erik Ten Hag to turn this club around. What I'm not hearing enough about De Jong is, if you bring De Jong in, 25 years of age, one of the best midfielders in Europe, straight into your team. If you don't get De Jong, you're not going to get a prime best midfielder in Europe. You're going to get a Ruben Neves who, let's be honest, we don't know whether he is a top 4 player. Or you're going to try and nurture James Garner, who you don't know whether he's going to be good enough yet. Or you're going to get Kante, who may be past it. De Jong is almost a shortcut. It's not a guaranteed shortcut to success, but we've got no right to be in for a player like that. And the only reason we are in for a player like that is because of Erik Ten Hag and his relationship. It would be very much the same as bringing Pochettino into the club and trying to get Harry Kane. Why would Harry Kane leave Champions League football with Spurs to come to Manchester United? You'd have to persuade him. You'd have to sell him the dream. And Pochettino would go, Harry, you've played with me before. Come and do the things I've just said about Ten Hag and De Jong. Mourinho did it with Pogba. Ollie could never do that. Who was he going to ring up? Some Cardiff player. So this is the value. This is the value of Ten Hag. This is the value of a Pochettino or a Mourinho. If you can bring a good quality manager in, they might just have a connection to a player that you've got no right to bring to the club, and they might be able to persuade them to come. So I'm all ears to it. Mark, can you do De Jong versus Neves? You'll be surprised. He's not worth the fee and wages. It stinks of Harry all over again. Says United Channel. Well, I can do De Jong versus Neves. Quite happily I can do De Jong versus Neves. But let's not forget, without deep diving into stats, I already know what De Jong is. De Jong does his best work in the opposition's half. Winning the ball back, pressing, passing. Everything De Jong does better is in the opposition half. Because he's good in a pressing system playing in a midfield too. Ruben Neves probably does most of his work in his own half. So comparative, I don't think you can compare them straight away. I really don't. Players in news is exciting, but what have you heard about players leaving? Would love to clear out and expand Eric's purse with a full window ahead, says Tom. And I always love Summary on United Stand. I like hearing the opinions of lots of different and new guests. Keep it up, says Daniel Kerr. Exactly. We embrace this. We love it. It's great to have different opinions. And hi, Mark. I'm the only one who thinks, but it looks like same Woodward era to much leaking of news for PR, says Jay. Just on outgoings, there was a very good piece in courtoffside.com, I think it is, or Court Offside website. They spoke to Rob Sagal, who's part of the YMU group. I think this is the same group that Brandon Williams is actually attached to, but he said about Brandon Williams has spent a year on loan at Norwich. He doesn't want to come back and spend his time sat on the bench for United. Therefore, United would be very open to moving him on. Speaking of a loan deal, but if the right offers came in, it might be that United would take that money and reinvest it. So, look, it's looking like Brandon Williams will be moving on from Manchester United. There was also a good part in the same article where this person said that also, if you look at Ten Hag's history, he likes natural players on each side. So it's unlikely he'd want to play a right-footed left-back, which is, for some reason, Brandon Williams wants to play at left-back. I think he would be so much better. I mean, why not play at right-back? You're right-footed, but, you know. To be honest with Garner, he could do a Trent and go in the team and work because one of Trent's first games was against Madrid, says Nathan. We need to sign young, hungry, cheaper players on the cusp of becoming great. Players like Ruben Neves, not big-name players for high fee and wages, says Sir Nigel Farage. I'm pretty sure Ruben Neves and De Jong are the same age. Certainly within one or 2 years. Mark, would you have kept the 80 million we spent on Sancho to use this summer, says Danny Doritos? I like Sancho, but I always said I'd have spent that on a midfielder first. So I'm not gonna move away from that. I would have always, I'll always stick by that. I would have spent the money on that first, definitely. I don't know whether anybody saw this, and I don't know whether we've had it yet, but Barcelona board has commenced, meeting has commenced, and after lunch, a statement from the club. So yeah, that's where we are with that. Just a few other things I wanted to mention as well on the show. Mark, would you rather Glazers out or a prime 08 United team right now? Al Nazar. Look, I don't like the Glazers. Neves is 25 too, says John Barnes. I don't like the Glazers, but we did win the Champions League and Premier Leagues under the Glazers because of Sir Alex. So you can win things with bad owners. So I'd be tempted to say if you could get. I always go 99 over 08, but the 08 team was very good. Any truth in the Wan-Bissaka to Roma rumours, says Salah Ahmed. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm surprised it's not been clipped. My rant about the right-back situation this morning being symbolic of the problems at United is how I feel. I don't think we're going to sign a right-back. I actually think Wan-Bissaka may well be still at United next season. I've got a funny feeling we won't move him on. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think we will. Don't care what anyone says. If Maguire and De Jong are the same fee, then we're getting De Jong for a steal. Sign him up as soon as we can, says Gabriel Noel. There's been a few stories coming out about Darwin Núñez again. It's really difficult because I don't want to talk about Darwin Núñez because I don't think there's anything to add from what we spoke about with Fabrizio yesterday afternoon. But again, there's a couple of stories circulating. I mean, low-level stories, but you do pick up on them, that United are very close to signing Darwin Núñez. The fee is around 70 to 80 million pounds. And then there's other people saying United are interested in Darwin Núñez, but a deal is a long way away. I would side with the latter on that. I don't know whether we're going to sign Darwin Núñez. I would be 50-50. But I certainly don't agree with... I mean, it's nearly Wednesday. People on Sunday were telling us the deal's close. We're getting into this world again in the transfer window that happens every year. Please define close. A deal is close. Please tell us what close means, because this happens every year. You get low-level journalists who don't have the reputation of high-level journalists trying to be a high-level journalist on guesswork. They want to be first. I mean, remember Duncan Castles? I haven't heard him say anything for ages. He used to do this quite a lot. He would be right, but you almost detected it was a bit of guesswork. And I think when people start saying deal close, like some people did at the weekend, then what do you mean deal close? Is close tomorrow? Is it next week? Or is it actually sometime this transfer window? Because I ain't interested in deal close unless it's actually close. If someone's saying close, I think that means that we're going to get a development in the next week. And the way I look at transfers, and we've discussed this before, there's the three stages of a transfer, and I think the only place I've ever heard this is amongst our community. 3 stages of a transfer that I look at: deal agreed with the player, deal done with the club, official announcement by Manchester United. With Timber, we're at deal agreed with him, and we're now at waiting for deal done when we agree the fee with Ajax, and then we'll get the official announcement. You can't just walk in and go, Núñez, deal close. What aspect of the deal? You clearly know sod all, because if you're saying deal close, you're not even breaking a deal down. With Núñez, you could say deal agreed with Núñez. We've agreed personal terms. Deal done. Next stage with Benfica, and then official. Deal close, to me, always comes across as a bullshitter, because they're trying to be first, but they don't have any information. So I don't think Núñez is a deal close, because you've got to go through the stages. And with George Mendes involved, he will be speaking to a lot of clubs. I think Núñez will not happen until the end of June at the latest, because I think he's on international duty now. They'll take in all the offers. They'll decide which is best for them. And we may still lose, because it's not like United can go to George Mendes and say, there's 72 million, get the deal done now. Sign it, sign it, sign it. Yes, yes. Because we'll go, there's 72 million. Can you do the deal now? Let me talk to my client. Well, we'll wait outside. No, I'll give you a call. Doesn't speak to Núñez. Rings up Liverpool. Right, we've got an offer on the table for 72 million. Are you interested? Right, you don't want to pay that much. Okay, what would you pay? 65. Okay, fine, no problem. Atletico Madrid, we've got 72. What would you offer? You get every offer, and then you go to the player. And then the player goes, right, so United are offering the most money, but Liverpool want me. I might want to go to Liverpool. So this is what's going to happen with Núñez. There's going to be a lot of back and forth to get the best deal, the best wages. George Mendes and Darwin Núñez and his agent would be absolute idiots to do a quick deal with United if there's other clubs interested. Hi Mark, if De Jong doesn't work, could Bissouma be an option? Cheaper than Neves, I would think, says Dasbo. And forget De Jong, we can't keep forcing him. We're very busy this window, says FIFA Crazy. I've read that one. And Thomas says, I wanted to apologise about the Cameron situation last video. I reacted with the wrong emojis. I was only echoing what others were saying. I admit it was my fault and I will learn for the future. I don't know what you're on about, Thomas. I don't know what you're on about. And I don't hold it against you, Thomas, because ultimately I was in a mood this morning. I'm grown up enough to know I'm not perfect. I make mistakes all the time. I do so many shows on the United Stand, and I was up late last night watching Stranger Things, and then I had to get up in the middle of the night because of Seb, and then this morning I was just tired and irritable, and you know, it's real on here. It's real. Get Neves and Lema instead of De Jong. Lema, we won't get. I'd love to get Lema. You know, if I could get surprised by any deal, I would love to get Lema. I don't think we will get him. And you know, yeah, that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Anyway, look, please do subscribe to the channel. Bottom right hand corner. We could be going live at any time. There might be an update from Barca at some point this afternoon. Let's wait and see. But effectively, the news we've got is that Barcelona need to sell, and they will be selling, and De Jong wants to stay. But if he's told he's going, maybe that's it. Maybe we're going to get him. We have got a show at 8 o'clock tonight. Big update for you on there. And don't forget, I'm on TalkSport YouTube channel and on the radio from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock tonight, UK time, with a big show talking about Manchester United. What's gone wrong? How do they solve it? It's called Not Fit to Wear the Shirt. It's on TalkSport at 7 o'clock. YouTube channel TalkSport, or on the radio. I'll be on from 7 till 10 o'clock tonight. Tune in for that. But we have got an 8 o'clock show for you on United Stand, so make sure you tune in for that. I am going to be on Twitch at 3:30 as well, playing a bit of my FIFA career mode. Second leg against Man City in the Champions League quarter-final. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and don't forget Boohoo Man. I'm wearing one of their tracksuit tops. 40% off with the code Goldbridge. Check out the website. You can scan your phone on the QR code next to my hand there, or you can go through the link in the description. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm on Twitch at 3:30, mate. I've just got a couple of things to do first. 3:30 a little bit later, but speak to you all in a bit. Thanks for watching. Fantastic.